The good old, often requested FAQ. Hey Zana, what about a business case in CX? I have several answers to that, so let me walk you through them. If a potential client approaches me with that question, I always say, so if they say, hey, we need a business case for CX, I tend to respond, then you should not work with me. Because a business case is never the key issue. We already have gazillion proof that, customer experience, when done well, very crucial side note, when done well, has a lot of financial impact, right? A lot of resources that you can easily find, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, HBR, Forrester, we ourselves as well, right? Every time that we've done some measurements, we've proven, yes, right? There's a big win for companies that are doing well in customer experience. Just Google them. I always make like one slide summarizing, hey, yes, for the non-believers, look, there's a lot of financial benefits to be gained. Okay, that's one side. So my response is, hey, if you want to make a business case, I don't think I'm the best partner for you because that's never the issue. Right, there's an underlying issue. Why is a business case in that sense not a solution? Because a business case has so many assumptions that the people that are not actual believers in CX, they will also say, there are so many assumptions in this business case. Who knows if this is actually going to happen, right? The people that already believe in the impact of CX, they don't need a business case because they are already convinced, but they are looking for how, right? How can we do this? And that is also always part of my slide decks. I always have a slide where you see that from an 8 or more, and so yes, there are financial benefits, but not just at any level of CX. Right? You need to score an 8 or more to actually start seeing an increase of loyalty, of buying more, of more trust. If you're between a 7 and an 8, chances are you don't see the financial impact. Right? So a business case is often not solving the problem. There's something, right? There are 1, 2, or 3 whys behind the question of the business case. And for me, one of the key whys behind it is that the other departments, they feel like CX is way too fluffy. Well, specifically for that feeling, that's why I developed the whole science behind the driver analysis. There's a separate video on that. To really translate the fluffy experience thing into hard steerable information. Now, when we do a pilot with a driver analysis on a journey and they see the results, then the whole question of a business case fades away because now they see they have hard steerable information. They know that CX will have positive impact. They just don't know how we can improve it, how can we make it tangible. That's one side. The other side is, so maybe 20 years ago, I was making business cases with, calculating how much churn are we going to prevent, right? How many more customers will we retain? What's the average lifetime value of a customer? And it was a completely theoretic model because almost no company is measuring lifetime value, but also there are a huge list of assumptions. So I felt, okay, this is not really working. So then when I wrote my book about customer signals management, I started using the contacts of customers, like calls, emails, etc. And I figured out, hey, that's a super easy, data-driven, almost completely incapable of, using gut feelings or challenging it, because it's factual data. So how do I go about it? I ask an organization, give me the number of calls, emails, complaints, shop visits, whatever you have, over a year. Do you know the price per call, per email, etc.? Yes, okay, perfect. If not, we'll use a benchmark. So we have a total amount, what the costs are of the customer contact in total. Let's say it's 1 million calls times 10 euros, it's 10 million euros a year. Then before, what I tended to do was say, okay, do we think that we can prevent 5% of these contacts by having better experience? Nobody disagrees with 5%. That means that 5% of the 10 million is 500,000 in budget for your CX program, right? You can do a lot for that. A few years later, I stepped it up a little because I got a question. Okay, what is the potential of cost reduction of our call center? I don't know. Let's ask customers. So we added the question, dear customer, do you think we could have prevented this call? 30% of customers said yes. And we've measured it now across different organizations, and every time it's between 20 and even 40%. So not only are all these customers saying, I didn't want to call, right? So I'm happier if you prevent this call, satisfaction going up. But now I have a super clear business case, right? My customers are saying that 30% of them doesn't want to call us. Hey, 30% times that same 10 million is a 3 million potential reduction while increasing satisfaction of customers. And the 3 million, of course, it doesn't mean that you reduce the number of employees. It does mean that you can use the time that you now have extra for employees to add more value to customers or to help them online or however you want to use that, right? So you're creating valuable extra time instead of the customer saying, I have to call you 3 times, but I don't want to call you, or I hoped I would only have to call you once. So to summarize a business case, if somebody's asking for a business case, they're probably telling you that they feel CX is too fluffy. Check out the driver analysis technique because that works every time. Then they get hard steerable data. If you're doing a business case, don't do very long list of assumptions and reduce churn. Go through the contact reasons and the number of calls, visits, etc. And ask customers if it could have been prevented. And you have a very quick and easy, zero assumptions business case.